Let us start with the first unit, electrostatics or static electric fields. Electrostatics in the sense static or rest or time invariant electric fields. Electrostatic fields are obtained by the distribution of static charges. Basically, the electrostatic fields are described by the two basic laws. One is Gauss law and the other one is Coulomb's law. These two laws are not depending on each other. That is, one law does not depend on the other law. Here, Gauss law is used if the charge distribution has some symmetry, whereas Coulomb's law is used if the charge distribution is not having symmetry. So when we distribute charges, the distribution may be having some particular symmetry, or it may not be having symmetry. So if the distribution has symmetry, we can use Gauss law and we can determine the electric field intensity, or we can find electric field intensity or the force among the charges which are distributed in a particular symmetry. Similarly, the Coulomb's law can be used even if the distribution is not having symmetry. By using Coulomb's law, we can find the force between the 2 point charges, from which we can also find the electric field intensity contained by that particular electric field. So let us see Coulomb's law. Basically, Coulomb's law deals with the force a point charge exerts on another point charge. Suppose if we have 2 point charges, let us say Q1 and Q2. We know that the charges are measured by using coulombs. We know that 1 coulomb equal to 6 into 10 power 18 electrons. 1 electron charge equal to minus 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. So according to Coulomb's law, the force between 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 is along the line joining between the 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of the 2 point charges and is inversely proportional to square of the distance between the 2 point charges. If we assume the distance between the 2 point charges as r and the charges are Q1 and Q2, then the force between the 2 point charges can be written as F equal to K into Q1 Q2 by R square, where K is proportional constant and is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is permittivity of free space or vacuum, is equal to 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 farads per meter. It comes around 10 power minus 9 divided by 36 pi farads per meter. Substituting epsilon naught value in K, we get K equal to 36 pi divided by 4 pi into 10 power minus 9. It comes around 9 into 10 power 9 meters per farads. Substituting K value in force expression, we get the force expression F equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. So this is about Coulomb's law. When we have 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 which are separated by a distance capital R, then the force between those 2 point charges can be written as Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. Let us assume these 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 are located at the points x1, y1, z1 and x2, y2, z2 respectively in rectangular coordinate system as shown in the figure. So we know that rectangular coordinate system has 3 axes which are mutually perpendicular to each other. The 3 axes are x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. X-axis is perpendicular to y-axis, y-axis is perpendicular to z-axis. The unit vector along x-axis is ax bar, the unit vector along y-axis is ay bar, the unit vector along z-axis is az bar. We have assumed that the point charge Q1 is located at x1, y1, z1 with the position vector small r1 bar, and the point charge Q2 is located at x2, y2, z2 with the position vector small r2 bar as shown in the figure. And these 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 are separated by a distance capital R12 bar as shown in the figure. The position vector small r1 bar equal to x1 ax bar plus y1 ay bar plus z1 az bar. X1 is component along x-axis, y1 is component along y-axis and z1 is component along z-axis for the point charge Q1. Similarly, the position vector small r2 bar equal to x2 ax bar plus y2 ay bar plus z2 az bar. Here also x2 is component along x-axis, y2 is component along y-axis, z2 is component along z-axis for the point charge Q2. The force on Q2 due to Q1 is F12 bar. Similarly, the force on Q1 due to point charge Q2 is exactly in opposite direction to F12 bar, which is F21 bar. Now, the force on point charge Q2 due to point charge Q1 can be written as, according to Coulomb's law, Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R square into AR12 bar, where AR12 bar is the unit vector along capital R12 bar. So therefore, unit vector AR12 bar equal to capital R12 bar divided by mod R12 bar. Substituting that in the above equation, we get F12 bar equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R square into R12 bar divided by mod R12 bar, where mod of R12 bar is equal to capital R. And R12 bar, capital R12 bar equal to small r2 bar minus small r1 bar. So therefore F12 bar equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught into R12 bar by RQ. Substituting R12 bar and mod R12 bar in this expression, we get F12 bar equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught into small r2 bar minus small r1 bar divided by mod small r2 bar minus small r1 bar whole cube. So this is the force on point charge Q2 due to Q1, where the point charges are having the position vectors small r1 bar and small r2 bar. Now the force on Q1 due to Q2 is exactly in opposite direction to F12 bar, and is F21 bar equal to minus F12 bar. Now suppose, so far we have discussed on the two charges which are distributed uh, on a space, then we can find the force between those 2 point charges by using Coulomb's law. Now let us say if we have more than 2 point charges, the point charges let Q with the position vector small r bar, Q1 with the position vector small r1 bar, Q2 with the position vector small r2 bar, and so on, Qn with the position vector small rn bar. So these are the point charges distributed, and we are assuming they are located in rectangular coordinate system with the position vectors small r bar, small r1 bar, small r2 bar, and so on, small rn bar. Then the force on the point charge Q due to the point charges Q1, Q2, and so on, Qn, which are having the position vectors small r bar, small r1 bar, small r2 bar, and so on, small r1 bar respectively. Then the force expression F bar equal to Q into Q1 by 4 pi epsilon naught small r bar minus small r1 bar divided by mod of small r bar minus small r1 bar whole cube plus Q into Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught small r bar minus small r2 bar divided by mod of small r bar minus small r2 bar whole cube plus and so on plus QQn by 4 pi epsilon naught into small r bar minus small rn bar divided by mod small r bar minus small rn bar whole cube, which can be written as Q by 4 pi epsilon naught summation k equal to 1 to n qk r bar minus rk bar divided by mod of r bar minus rk bar whole cube. So that's how you can find force on a point charge due to n number of point charges which are having the position vectors in a rectangular coordinate system. So this is about the Coulomb's law. We have seen how we can determine the force between 2 point charges if they are having position vectors, and without having position vectors we determine the force between the 2 point charges. So if they are having point charges, if they are having position vectors, if the point charges are having the position vectors, then the force between the two point charges F12 bar equal to minus F21 bar equal to Q1 Q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught R2 bar minus R1 bar by R2 bar minus R1 bar whole cube.